Another big, strong jump ball receiver is Jaden Higgins out of Ohio State. This guy is, I hate to keep doing this, but it's just like the ability to go up and catch jump balls. I mean, it's what really stands out. But I think the thing that kind of differentiates him from some of these other guys is consistency. He doesn't really, he's not one of those guys where you're like, man, the ceiling's so high, but man, the floor falls out. He just was very consistent throughout his career. He started at Eastern Kentucky and transferred to Iowa State. Last year, this is these stats are very interesting. So he had 87 catches, 1183 yards, and 9 touchdowns. So pretty solid. He did not have a single game under 50 yards receiving. If you look at his box scores and you take, typical PPR fantasy scoring, his lowest scoring game was 12.9 fantasy points, which was 6 catches for 69 yards. In all but two of his games, he either or, and sometimes both of these things, but he either had 100 yards or a touchdown in all but two games. Just very consistent performer across the board. Not the fastest guy, but considering a guy that's 6'4", 215, running a 4.47 is pretty fast for his size. Um, and he played with another good receiver on his team that'll be an NFL receiver, which you'll talk about here in a minute. So it's not like he didn't have any target competition. He definitely did. We keep saying this, but it's a lot about the draft capital. Where do these day two guys fall in? What positions do they fall into? But he's a guy I really like as someone. It's funny that you mentioned Michael Pittman because I see a lot of Michael Pittman and Higgins here. So I think that he's a guy I really like, and he's a guy that I noticed last year, just kind of watching college football, and I've kind of had on my radar. But really digging into his film, I've started to really like him more, and I think he's risen up my rankings a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. You were the lucky one that got the chance because I think he right now is kind of a darling in the draft season right now. We actually got the chance to talk about him last week when I was on with the
Yeah.
Empire of the Elite and Chev talking a little bit about Jaden Higgins and potential landing spots. And Chev was actually talking about a landing spot with Nico Collins in Houston, as we were just talking about potentially with some of the other receivers. But he's just another big physical body that can come down with the ball, and I love Higgins. He's going to be another day two guy. We can just continue to belabor the point. Like draft capital is going to be huge with like really this middle tier of wide receivers. Like I think the top four we know are going to end up in like the first round with potentially Matthew Golden somewhere in the early day two. But yeah, like what's really going to separate the rest